What's good, everybody? Welcome back to the Producergrind Podcast. Got my boy Sound Oracle in the building today, man. What's good with you, bro?
What's happening, man? Thanks for having me.
You already know, man. Appreciate you pulling up. I know we've been chopping up on Instagram for probably like a year now.
Yeah, it's good to put a face with the name.
Yeah, you already know, man.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. You know, we tune into all your content and stuff like that, too.
Appreciate it.
Hell yeah. Let me see. But yeah, man, I thought letter L was going to chime in with a question.
Oh, my bad.
Sorry for the awkward silence.
Oh, my bad. It's all good. It's supposed to be like a synchronized swimming thing going on here.
Nah, you know, we still getting back up used to this thing, man, and kind of getting our bearings as far as the podcast thing's going. So welcome, man. Sound Oracle. For those of y'all that don't know, and it's interesting, man, because we try to get our research in before we make sure I have our guests on, man. And one of the big things that you're known for, probably more so, I think, than actually producing is just kind of the sound design game. And so that's one of the things we do at Producergrind, man. We put together these sound packs and kind of present these things for these producers to buy. And it's almost like, you're almost like the godfather of this sound design stuff. So, man, I was just wondering if you can talk about just kind of your beginnings, kind of maybe your peers in the design game and kind of how you got started and what your inspiration was as far as just doing that as opposed to just producing.
Man, first of all, I appreciate, I need you to do my intros everywhere I go. I need you to like, intro me.
Appreciate that.
Man, honestly, I love sound design. And when I started, I didn't have any peers because I'm from Alexandria, Virginia. Nobody was really producing where I'm from. So I wanted to make beats, but I didn't know how people made beats or how they did their sound. So I just started doing them on my own. And I thought everybody did that.
Right.
You know what I mean? It wasn't until I met Polow before I realized that not everybody does that. But
how'd you meet Polow?
I met Polow in 2008. Mm-hmm. I came to Atlanta. Mm-hmm. I was living in Baltimore, Maryland. Funny enough, I'm looking at Baltimore, Maryland. Shout out to Baltimore.
We just got back, man. That DMV sound is very crazy.
Oh, we got chopped up about that too.
Yeah,
but I was in Baltimore. You know how it is, hood studio, $30 an hour, come record over somebody's beat, and you know, and I was selling beats out of that too. But honestly, I wasn't making any bread. I didn't have any business sense about me. It was just a real low point in life. And then a friend of mine, Brian Kidd, was down here. And he was like, yo, you should come to Atlanta.
Yeah. And
I'm like, I don't know. I don't really think I should go to Atlanta or whatever. I don't know why I was trying to stay. But, and then to add insult to injury, somebody broke my studio, stole everything.
Oh,
that's mad stuff. So finally, I'm like, all right, bet. Might go to Atlanta. My girl at the time was like, yeah, we should go or whatever. I'm like, I didn't know you was going, but all right, cool. We're going to go down there. You get a job, I get popping in music. Sound crazy, but that was the plan. So she got a job, and I would hit Northside and just drive up and down all the studios, knock on the door every day. Go to the studios on a schedule, and got cool with the people at the front gates or whatever. Then they started letting me in, and I played for them, and they played for assistant engineers, and assistant engineers playing for whoever.
Yeah.
Then finally, Polow heard about me. I went over. He was at Saks at the time.
Yeah.
And I went in there. He was like, yo, these beats are crazy. Like, yeah, definitely, let's do some beats. And he's like, yo, these sounds, where you get these sounds from? And all this stuff. I'm like, yo, I make it or whatever. You know, I told him what it was. He was like, yo, can you do that for me? I'm like, bet, let's go.
Yeah.
And I started doing that for Polow. So that's my Polow story. That's how I met him.
All right. One thing I want to ask, man, because, you know, I personally have followed Sound Oracle, man, just because I'm a student of the game. I've seen him at a couple of different events. I've heard you tell this story a number of times, man. I really want to ask, so in the very beginning, like how? Like literally, like what steps? Like how did you make sounds?
I started from the crates.
Okay.
I'm a crate digging guy. I used to skip school and go record shop.
Yeah.
That was my thing. I missed mad school. Sorry to all my teachers, but I was all about them crates. And so it started with layering.
Okay.
And the way I would do it, like when I would make a beat, if I would sample from certain records, I'd be like, yo, that person's in my band for that song. So I just started putting together these all-star bands when I made beats. And then I just took it a step further and made it more elemental. Like, yo, if a snare from here and a such and such from that he did, lock those together. So then I got into the blending. And then I got into outboard gear. Like you saw, I did like cassette drums.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, where I ran everything through old cassettes and all that. That came from when I first came up. I wanted to make my sounds more interesting. I didn't have like expensive outboard gear, so I'm like, my cousin got an old radio I could run some stuff through, or somebody got something else I could run some stuff through. Yeah. And that's how the sounds kind of took a shape and became more interesting instead of just regular.
And one thing too, man, shout outs to your the soundoracle.net, and you had the sample packs of sounds on there. He has so many sounds, bro. Like so many, like I've seen producers do their own sets, right? But to have like, oh, okay, I got like 5 packs on there. I got like Sound Oracle is a store unto himself.
Hell yeah, I'm on it right now. It's like I'm still scrolling.
Yeah. And it's not like little bits of stuff in there. Like if you get a drum pack, you getting like 160, 190 drums.
Good grief.
With the loop. You get a loop pack, you getting like 50 loops or something like that. You know what I mean?
That's crazy.
It's all about the quality.
Yeah. That's dope, man.
What you using to produce now?
Ableton.
Ableton
gang.
Ableton. The push.
Oh, you know it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I see you got everything. You got all the gear.
Yeah, but that's like my main shit, like the Ableton and the push. By the way, can you cuss on this podcast?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool.
Say whatever the fuck you want to say.
Oh, nice.
Now, Dylan, I want to ask you, have you seen one of his like Instagram posts? Like when he's like making a beat in the studio? It looks like a spaceship in there.
Oh, yeah,
bro.
that's what I'm saying. He's got all the gear, all the lights, everything, yeah.
Man, I love that. People always like, why you use so many pieces of gear? First of all, none of that shit is necessary. You know, now you got the laptop, you rocking out. But I mean, other than making for a good show, I like to have a physical representation of all my tracks, or my main tracks, because I like to play more than one thing at a time. So standard way, you lay this part, then you go to the next track, lay that part. And I'm like, nah, I want to sample here, the drums here, the such and such here, and I just want to like really physically get in there and like feel the music. I'm from that school of like you feel the music.
Yeah.
Yo, shout out to people that could draw it in. That nice,
right?
Nice. I can't do that though.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. And you talk about crate digging, man. I want to send a shout out to my man CJ Plays, man. You mess with CJ?
I don't know CJ.
CJ did he did a couple of the iStandard events, man. He won a couple of those, man. But I went record shopping with him, and they had this little convention in Atlanta, man. Like, can you talk about your record shopping? Do you still shop for records?
Nah, not like I used to. But we could talk about it because I got years of experience.
Yeah, talk about record shopping, because that's something that's a little different that cats aren't necessarily doing now when they come into the game.
Man, record shopping, it's like an art unto itself. So it's several ways you can record shop. Everybody know you got to pick the covers. Look for the ill covers. That's a cool way to do it. But when you like really become like a scientist and a student of the game, first thing you start looking at is years. Like, oh, what year was this? Then you start knowing the labels. Oh, what label was this? Well, this label sounded like this around these years, and they had this person. Oh, and this person was doing the production for them. This person used to play the drums for them. So you can now look at a record after you've been doing it for a while and be like, you could just look at the back cover and you could hear the record. Yeah. Because I know the drummer, I know the producer, I know all that. You know what I mean? I know the label. So that's what became fun to me, and that was more fun in school. So that's why I was skipping school. I'm like, this is way more fun. I didn't realize I was studying and I was learning. Right. I'm just like, yo, I got $7 and I got 4-5 hours to sit here and make my $7 work for me. So and I couldn't listen to the records at the spots I was going to. None of them you could hear the records. So you had to like really go in there. And I used to just study records all day and leave out with like 3 records. Being there all day.
That's crazy. So being that you're somebody who you say you don't use records as much now, but you used to, and so you kind of seen both sides of it. I don't want to say old school, new school, but kind of both sides of the, hey, we're doing a lot of heavy sampling, and now we're kind of getting into these other sounds, probably more organic sounds, being in the machine a little bit more. Talk about that transition, I guess. You know what I'm saying? Because especially a lot of our Producergrind audience, a lot of those guys are heavy trap guys, so they may not sample as much, right? So talk about that transition.
The transition for me personally was a seamless one. Like, I was never a person that thought like that way of music was going to be it forever. Yeah. A lot of people that started there, that was kind of their mindset, and that's why some of them are upset now. Like, oh man, no one's sampling now and all that stuff. But I think the transition is easy, and it's because of one word. The word is technology. I've always been into technology. So wherever the technology goes, that's where I'm going.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, and having the techniques of sampling
Yeah.
and then just utilizing them on this new sound and the way that things were going, it was easy. And it helped make my new sound transition a little more unique.
Right.
Then, you know, other people, they get into the sounds and you just get sounds from what everybody else does. But I'm like, nah, if I can decipher how these sounds are made, and now I got my own thing that I've been doing for forever. Like, I still ain't afraid of to run something through a tape deck.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But it ain't gonna sound like boom bap.
Yeah.
But it's still gonna be ill, you know?
Yeah. So speaking of technology, you just got back from NAMM. There was a lot going on out there, man. Shouts out to Fred Bruno, man. I saw him out there heavy in the building.
What's NAMM? That's like a conference for
Yeah. What is it? National Association?
I thought it was North
American Association of Music Merchants.
Yeah. And so they got like all the new gear, like all the new software, all the stuff. That's
so it's like the E3 or whatever, but for music.
Yeah.
E3, the gaming shit. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. So, and I saw Flavor Flav out there too, man.
Did you see the video?
Yeah, I heard there's videos going around, Flavor Flav playing the piano.
Did y'all see that?
Oh, I didn't see it, but I seen like the you know what I mean, the screenshot.
Yeah.
Slim blew everybody's mind. I'm like, what? I woke up the next morning and I was like, yo, how did I miss that? I was in the same damn building. I missed that. My man's like, it was like Mozart on that joint.
Yeah. Man, listen, man, that's hip hop right there, man. You know what I'm saying? So, what did you see in NAMM, man, that really kind of caught your attention, especially being somebody that's so on the cutting edge?
Nothing.
Really?
Yeah, no, not nothing. It was nothing that really blew my mind. Musically. Now, I know there's a music podcast, but the things that they're doing with like lighting and stuff, like I was more drawn to that at NAMM.
Yeah.
I did see a lot of cool, like this DJ setup. It was like super small, man. It looked real nuts. They had like these two little screens on it. And then they made one that looked like two iPhones put together. But it's like a whole DJ setup. Yeah. That was dope. But when I asked the girl at the booth, I'm like, oh man, this is a new one that's coming out. She was like, it's been out for 5 years.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And, you know, so it wasn't a whole lot new for me to see at NAMM. And that was my first NAMM too. So I was but I got to see my homie Brian Michael Cox demo his new VST. You know, I got to meet a lot of people that I chop it up with on Instagram, a lot of sound designers. So it was cool in that aspect, but technology-wise, I didn't see a lot. But I was in and out of there most days because it was so loud.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I can see that. That's kind of how A3C was, man. I would be there about 2 hours, man. It gave me a splitting headache.
And we did a seminar out there every night of NAMM, too. So that I had to do that like in the evenings till like 10 at night. So I wasn't like NAMMed out all day. I had somewhere to be.
Actually, shouts out to the podcast. Your podcast. Shout out your podcast real quick. And where can they check that out at?
Oh man, my podcast is Unquantized Podcast. It's me and my dog Trezza. He's my co-host. It's on my Instagram page every Friday, 4 p.m. EST. And my Instagram is @SoundOracle. We also syndicate it on YouTube, iTunes, and SoundCloud. Yeah, Unquantized Podcast.
Yeah, I was checking out the live feed of that on Friday. Y'all be cracking up because y'all said y'all was a little sauced up for the panel discussion, man.
Oh yeah, the last one. Yeah. We were at my spot. Yeah, you know we drink Jameson on the podcast. And sometimes, man, sometimes you might go off on a little saucy rant or something. You never know. My dog, he always be like, dog, should I go? I'm like, go ahead, bro.
The people want the realness, man. That's what they want, man.
Yeah, speaking of, I always say, man, we work for the people, not the company. So
it's unquantized, for real.
Yeah.
So the next thing I kind of wanted to talk about is, and it kind of builds into what you were talking about as far as getting away from sampling when a lot of people were in kind of that futuristic sound, man. And that kind of leads into you know, one of the big, people you've worked with in the industry is Timbaland, man. And I was just wondering if you could talk about that relationship and how you kind of met him and how you guys kind of shaped your sound together.
Oh, no doubt. Shout out to Tim. That's my brother. Not even arguably. I think he's the greatest producer of my lifetime. Yeah. You know what I mean? And that's no question. So the way I met Tim ties into the Polow story. So after I met Polow, started working with him, Polow went out to L.A., with, he's on Interscope.
Right.
And I'm telling the story one day, and he's like, yeah, I tell my man this story. And I ended up telling the story. His man was Tim.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, okay, cool. So Tim came in, and he heard the sounds and stuff and everything that Polow was doing. And he called me that night, and he was like, yo, I don't know what you're doing, but can you do the same thing for me as you're doing for Polow? I'm like, bet. And the first session I had with him, it was him and Justin Timberlake.
Yeah.
I'd never forget. I was like, damn, he's working on Shock Value too. And the song, what was that song? I can't remember the name of the song. But anyway, I'm like, oh, damn, this is crazy.
Yeah.
Like, I'm in here with Tim. But, you know, I went around, start doing the sounds, showing him some sounds. And Tim was like, oh, damn. So now we both like, oh damn, dog. But that moment let me know, like, oh, this is going to be my brother for life. Because we could hear a sound and both of us like, yo, son, you hear that? It could be anything. The world could be coming down. Like, yo, did you hear that snare?
Yeah.
Like, damn, all this. So working with Tim, man, it was seamless. People asked me if I was nervous or anything. I'm like, no, because everything, I studied him so much and stuff that he was using, like, I had it.
Yeah.
You know, if he used a sound, I had that sound. So
he used that motif, right?
Yeah, he used to use a lot of little pieces, you know, the motifs and all that stuff from back in the day. That might be like from Genuine days. But it was just so easy, man.
And you would kind of load the joints on his machines and
he never was like, yo, I need this, give me that. He just like, yo, do what you do.
Yeah.
I'm working with such and such.
Yeah.
Let's go. And I would come out like, yo, this is what I got. This would be perfect for this would be perfect for that.
Yeah.
You know, it's really, really easy. And to this day, we'll sit on the phone for a long ass time and we'll talk about one sound. One sound.
Yeah.
How do you feel about, like, you know, because being one of the original, you know, drum kit guys and sound kit guys, how do you feel about, you know, the current trends, how everyone's got kits, like seems really saturated? Like, you think that eventually, like is there going to be like a bubble burst? Like, what are how do you see the, you know, the landscape?
It will definitely be a bubble burst, and it won't even be as dramatic as a burst. It'll be more like a fizzle out. Because it's one of them things, like, if you just in something to make a little quick money and it looks like a trend, your heart's not really in it. And 9 times out of 10, you're not really that good at it. Or you're not as good as you could be at it. So the people are going to burn themselves out, because you realize if I'm not dedicated and I don't really love it, it becomes tiring as hell after a while. You just don't feel like doing it. Yeah. So I think that's what's going to happen to most people. And, you know, the cream always going to rise to the top anyway. The people with the love, the people with the passion and the consistency going to always win.
You think people will always be buying kits?
Yeah, maybe not in the way that they do now, and maybe not from the sources that they do now, but it's like cooking. You're going to always need ingredients to make dishes.
I feel you.
And I was going to ask, do you think it's already fizzling out with the way, you know, Splice has kind of come up? You know, you see some of the other producer-oriented companies teaming with these companies. Machine just got sounds.com, I think. So do you think that's kind of already starting to happen with these outlets?
Yeah, it's definitely going that route. And I think it's dope. It's the evolution of, you know, CD to MP3, that type of deal. So I'm not the one to push back. I'm gonna ride the wave. You know, I'm gonna still have my thing over here and it's established for what it is. But I'm on that too. Yeah. And the next thing, and I'm over here trying to make the next thing myself. So I'm not opposed to change.
Nah, that's dope. So it's kind of like, you know, how it's going, like how it went from like buying albums and streaming, you know what I mean, with the memberships and shit. I just was about to say something. I literally forgot what I was about to say. Because I like, even, you know, we make kits and we sell kits, but, you know, there's still like some kits I might see something like, that shit looks kind of dope. Like, what's in there, you know what I mean? So I definitely think there'll always be, you know, a market for it. Yeah,
it is. Especially if you have a name. Like, y'all have organic reach too. Like, the people know who you are. Now they saw the ad. They see mad ads, or you know what I mean? It's when you got that organic reach and people are reposting and telling their friends about it, those are people that's going to be the pillars, and those are the people that are going to stay. Everybody else, they were blowing in the wind to start with, so they never had a strong foundation. So those are the people that's just going to fizzle out, and it doesn't take any time. It's not like somebody's going to be doing it for years and then fizzle out. It's like quick.
Appreciate you, man. Shouts out to Sound Oracle, man. Appreciate you for the shot, the big up for Producergrind, man.
Oh man, no doubt.
Definitely, man. Now, what about content? Like, cause I I feel the same way about content. Like, you know, I feel like in a couple of years, it's going to be so much content. It already is like super saturated. Like everybody's got a vlog. Like how do you see, like, what are your thoughts on that and the saturation?
I actually think, I think it's kind of cool. It's giving people options. You know what I mean? It's like channels, man, but like everybody became their own channel in life. So you just pick them channels that you watch, and you know, everybody lock into their favorite channels, i.e. their favorite people, and you hope that you're somebody's favorite channel or favorite person. That's really what the content thing is. But just like them whack channels, like ain't nobody gonna be watching them, and the network go, you know, people gonna pull them. Yeah. So the content thing, good content, just like anything else, the cream is gonna rise to the top.
Definitely. I guess I just feel like, you know, being a creator and stuff, I always feel like it's going to get to a point where everyone's like, oh, I make my own this, I make my own that, I make my own that. Like, no one's going to even be consuming the content. Like, everyone's just, but I don't think that's realistic. Right. You know what I mean? There's people that literally, all they do is consume, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it kind of seems like music is like that, too. One of the things that Polow would always say when I first started working with him, and this was even years ago, he's like, just as many people make music now as people that buy music. Right. You know what I mean?
Seems it that way.
Yeah, content will be like that. But like I said, everybody's favorites, they still gonna be their favorites.
Yeah, that's one thing we talk about around here too, man, is just, you know, if you're dope at what you do, man, people are gonna wanna consume it. You know, we really we do like a lot of personal outreach. You know what I'm saying? We're selling products. We reach out to people, have conversations with them around that product because we really wanna form those natural relationships. You know what I'm saying? Those natural bonds, bro.
Yes, indeed. Yeah, you gotta have
that. I think the next thing I wanted to get back to what we talked about at the beginning is, because we were having this conversation, a little bit of debate, is who would you consider like a peer in terms of like the sound game? You know what I'm saying?
It's a lot of them out there. It's CAPSUN out there. He's like the brother on the other side. Everybody knows Illmind. He was doing it even before I was. So you know, he's more like a pioneer to me than like a peer. Yeah. You know, you got Ratchet Gxds out there. You got my guy Seige Monstracity. Shouts out to
Ratchet Gxds. Them's my guys, man. yeah. Sound junkie, man.
Decap is dope.
Yeah.
MSX is out there. It's quite a few of us. Yeah. I think I said Seige Monstracity. I don't know. I would have had my list together had I known. But yeah, it's quite a few people out there that I look at as peers.
Yeah, man. Definitely. So I'm trying to see what else, man. I knew there was a couple other things I want to talk to you about. So having that relationship with Polow, do you have a relationship with Anonxmous?
Yeah, that's my guy, man.
Yes, how do you know Anonxmous? Can you talk about that a little bit?
I met him probably in a Polow session. Matter of fact, the first time I heard of him, I was doing some sounds with Polow. He was working on a Beyonce record.
Okay.
I've Been On. It was kind of like an interlude record. It was like half of one song and the Hit Boy had the other half of the song. But anyway, I met Anonxmous in that session, I believe, and he was doing 808. You know, he crazy on the 8s.
Yeah.
And I was like, yo, who is this dude? So yeah, he sat, and him and Polow displayed me a whole bunch of his stuff. And I was like, man, you cold. And then I started seeing him a lot of different places, like out here, and then in LA, you know, he was doing some stuff with Tim too. Yeah. You know, so he just became like little bro.
Yeah, shouts out, man. We actually are trying to catch up with him later this week to do a live cook-up, man. He's been moving around a lot, so it's hard to catch that dude the last couple weeks, man. With that,
he got them skates on, baby. He got it.
When you getting them checks, man, just like our boy Chase the Money, man, he been moving around. The producers is moving around a lot. You know they getting the bags, bro.
They gotta be right. They gotta be.
Yeah, when you see them flight pictures, everybody got mad pictures at the airport. Like, wow, you been at the airport a lot lately.
Yeah. The other thing I wanted to ask you about too is, you know, just when I kind of got with Producergrind, I was kind of just getting into the sound design game. And one thing I know that I pay attention to when I'm buying sounds myself, and I wanted to make sure I was sharp on, was the art, right?
Yeah.
So can you talk about that part of it? Like, you know, how do people, you know, use the art to pick a good sound kit, kind of similar to the record digging thing, and, you know, what resources you use to make the art for your kits?
Man, let me tell you, the artwork for the kits is so important.
Hell yeah.
in the beginning, I don't know if anybody remember when I first started, man, my boxes were terrible. But I was like, I just got to do something, because if I stick around and wait for it to be perfect, I'm not going to do anything. But they still sold, but it wasn't off the artwork. I'll tell you that much. It sure wasn't. But man, it's super important. And what I've done, got graphic designers, you know, they might come and go. I'm looking for like a real steady one, but you
hey,
got
same here, man.
Hey, look,
DM us.
hey, look, man, we both gonna be out in daylight with a flashlight together looking for graphic designers. But man, it's just hella important, especially when you can find somebody that has that, they on the same page as you.
Yeah.
That's my thing. I'm never the guy. I don't want to come in and tell you, make this red, make this blue, make this. That's not my game. And when I start telling you too much of that,
you might as well do yourself.
Yeah, I'm doing the job, and I suck at it. So I'm not going to tell you what to do, and I know I'm not really that good at it. So you just got to find people that are like on your same wavelength, and build with them. Make sure they feel your brand and they understand the message, and they know that you're not a happy-go-lucky brand. You might be more of an aggressive, serious brand. Or,
right.
You know what I mean? It's so many details, but that goes with graphic designers. That goes with anybody else on your team, man. They all got to be in tune with that brand.
That's what it is.
Gotta have similar style too.
Facts.
Because my thing, like, I do all the graphic design, you know what I mean? So I've been struggling to find somebody that's like, yo, they're dope. Like, I can just trust them, you know, put out shit, you know what I mean? Shout out to the merch too, by the way. So yeah, check the merch out.
Yeah, it's kind of tough. I might have to, you gotta give me a link where I can hit up and get one of those.
Oh man, I got you. I got these are sold out right now, but I got a new batch coming in like next week. I definitely got you. You already know.
Nice, I like that. Yeah. I wear hoodies every day, so.
I feel you, man.
I don't know if you've seen the Proudly Serving Rappers. Do we have any more of these stickers, or are we out of these?
Yeah, I don't know if I got any here. I definitely got some stickers for
you. Yeah, we
you.
got to get some, man. Get a picture of Oracle holding them joints up, man.
Yeah,
these are tough, man. These are tough. We had to sticker
like
joints. Yeah.
Take some of these too.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about. That's why I brought a bag with me.
I don't know if you're a backwood guy, but
hey, man. I'm a dope artwork guy. That's just hot. I like this.
And that's another thing too, man. One of the things we're going to be doing coming up is we're going to be doing an event that kind of shows producers how to brand and market themselves. You know what I'm saying? We definitely love to invite you back for that if you were interested. But that, I think, is one of the things you've excelled at. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, and it's funny to even hear you say that, because I knew nothing about this up until a few years ago. Like, I was still at that mindset, you make dope beats and you good. You know what I mean? Then I got into it, and I've really embraced this whole branding thing. And I just learned people like transparency, man.
Yeah.
And if you're good at, you don't even have to be good at something. You just have to be dedicated, and people feel that you're genuine.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? When people see you, they feel like they know you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like that. That to me, that was the key to branding.
Yeah.
All the other stuff, you know, remaining consistent and picking the colors and content and all of that. Those are the technically important things. But the soul of branding is touching people. When they see that logo, when they just hear that name, they get these feelings, they get these memories, and they're all good.
Yeah.
That's what I try to get out of people anytime I do anything that's connected to my brand. Like sitting here doing this interview, it's connected to my brand. I want to give a great interview. You know what I'm saying? For people that don't know me, I want to give a great interview. For the people that follow me, you know, I might tell the same story you heard in the other interview, but I'm going to tell it in a different way, because it's just having that brand, man, having that community. That's the soul of the brand. The other stuff is just technical.
It seems like once a podcast, we have this moment where you need to stop, write that down, run it back, whatever you need to do. Because that was game that he just dropped right there.
That was real game.
Yeah.
Young bars.
Nah, bro, dropping a hella game. He's got me feeling better, you know, about like, you know, the saturation and everything. So definitely respect, man.
That's what we here for, man. I know I'm in the company of greatness, man. I know I'm in the company of kings. That's why when you hit me up, I'm like, man, let's
appreciate
go.
You.
Let's
man,
go. The respect is there. And I know just from us chopping it up, we like-minded about a lot of things, man. I think that's super dope.
So one of the questions we tend to ask everybody who's on, and it's interesting to ask you because of where you sit. I saw on Facebook, I think it was like the 20-something day of January. And Smitty Boy, shouts out to Smitty Boy, he was like, you know, I'm kind of slacking off on my pace and making beats. It's 20th day of the month, he said he had 40, right? Now, we had Nonstop on last week, and we asked him how many he made a day. He said he doesn't even name them anymore. He just does the date, and then he starts with A. And he said he gets to about J or K every day. Now, you're not a traditional beat maker. You're more of a sound designer. But I know you make beats, right?
Right.
So how many beats a day? What is your pace? How many have you made in 2018? And can you just talk about that a little bit?
Beats a day used to be about 10 to fully completed. Now is 0. And I'm going to tell you. Now in 2018, I racked up a couple. But I've reached a point where I can't make beats all day, every day. Because, with this other stuff going on, like I said, I'm building a team. So when you're building a team, that's a fancy way of saying you don't have enough people. So I'm wearing a lot of hats now. And I remember when I did sit around and make beats all day, it was amazing. My beats were great, but that's all I had was beats.
Yeah.
So now I'll pick days.
Okay.
I'm big on scheduling. I'm big on
routine.
Sometimes you get caught up in the productivity things, but I'm big on that productivity and that discipline. So I'll look at the month or the next couple of weeks, and I'll pick this is 2 or 3 days, and I'm gonna do this with the beats, and I'm gonna do that. Because what I realized too is when you wake up and you have that schedule, like this is what I'm doing today. I'm making beats. I'm being creative. That can change a lot of stuff. For instance, like if you smoke or whatever, you might have a day full of meetings. You might not want to wake up and get wild smacked.
Yeah.
But if you are going to have a creative day, you're going to start your day off a little different, or and it's not even just boiled down to like vices or anything like that. It's just a whole mindset, and you can see your week on a Sunday night. Like this is who I'm gonna be on Wednesday. I'm a creative guy, or Friday I'm a podcast guy, or Monday this, that, and the third. So that's how I really do my beats, and I also do them. I kind of make beats to order now.
Okay.
Because if you notice my last couple of placements, I do stuff with somebody now, and they're always my friends. So when I get a placement, it's not a placement I look for, but it was a friend of mine that was like, I'm working on this, I want to bring you in. So then the beats will start up. But other than that, man, I'm really into this branding thing and taking this technology stuff to the next level. That's my real focus.
Are you at liberty to discuss those last two?
Yeah, I know the technology thing. What did I say before the technology thing?
You were talking about, the 2 placements. You said the last two.
Yeah. What did I do? Mary J. Blige. It was me and my man Bam. The last one ain't out yet. I can't talk about the other one. It's not out yet.
Okay. All right, bet.
So where is your passion right now? You do everything. You do content, you do beats, you do sound design. Like what is your real, what are you having the most fun with?
Industry wise?
In general, you wise.
Okay, twofold. Industry wise is technology. I love technology, and I dabble in it, and I've been into the creative space of technology like I was into making beats, or like I still am to making beats. Personally, where I'm at now is community and like the people. I'm an introverted guy, so I get joy out of being alone and creating things from nothing. Like that's all the joy I need. But it wasn't until I started being more out there and people started seeing me, and I get to talk to people. And then when you hear people like, you inspired me, or man, like you changed my life, or I had stopped, but then I heard the podcast, or I heard your interview, and then that gave me all I want. And now I got a placement with this person, and I'm like, damn, son, I can't create that. I need people for that. Yeah. And that's a high right there. I'm like, oh my God. Like so personally, that's what it is for me right now. And funny enough, if you actually chase that, these other things become a byproduct of that. Yeah. Like for the people that want to make a quick buck or whatever, money will be a byproduct of reaching people and changing people, but the focus has to be on the people and really wanting to make a difference. And that's when you really start to break through and the world just starts to open up for you.
That reminds me of a quote I saw. Illmind had posted it, and I can't remember who he got it from, but I think it said, you want to start a business, don't start a business, solve a problem, and then the business will come.
Yeah.
Right? And so, that's a lesson about passion and about love and about really caring about what you do, which I guess for me, I know there's people out there that are just trying to make a quick buck, But it shocks me because I know why I do it. So I'm like, oh, people just trying to make money? That's why they doing this?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you really love it. Like,
yeah, it's all about that community, man. It's and the culture.
Yeah.
You got to keep the culture moving forward. You can't be selfish. There will be something here after you. You can either make that something better, or you could be a reason why it's shitty.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's all about the culture and the people.
Right. So one of the big things we need to talk about before you get up out of here is it's been a big topic of conversation. I'm thinking back to the DJ Toomp Instagram thing where he was talking about the Davis Act. Everybody was circulating the Jermaine Dupri clip where he was talking about the kid selling the Coco OT Genesis beat for $200.
Right.
I know DJ Payne has been seems like a daily conversation on Twitter with somebody about, hey, producers don't know, what their rights are. Producers don't understand how the business works. So I was just wondering if you can talk to us a little bit about this whole movement about how producers are getting paid and your opinion on it and where you kind of fit in with that.
Well, it's several conversations going on now. There's the, of course, no free beats.
Yeah.
So I'll start there. I think it's important for us to know what we should get.
Yeah.
And I think it's important for us to really have value. Not like bullshit value, but like what is our real value? You know what I mean? People throw numbers and all these things out there, but if you stop to think about it, the producers are hella valuable. But the problem is, as many no free beats joints, like the ones that get it, we get it. Yeah. It's not gonna be no free beats, but you're gonna have the people without the passion that's gonna hold itself out. Yeah. And that is the problem. Yeah. That's the whole problem with it. Like the no free beats thing, that's for artists and that's for people that don't get it. That ain't for people like us. Yeah. So I really think producers need to unite, but what you gonna do with the hoes?
Yeah.
That's the problem. And once we get it together, we can all move as a unit. We should have some type of standard, some type of minimum, or just something that's a little bit better. But I'm not gonna beat that message to death, because the other thing is the selling beats versus placements thing. Yeah. Like that's been real big too. I know I'm supposed to be answering the question, but I'm gonna pose it to you. Like how do y'all feel about the leasing leasing versus placements thing?
I mean, I don't feel there's really nothing wrong with that. I just when producers sign those work for hires, or even if they had the bad agreements on their website where it's like, if you buy this exclusive, like you don't owe no royalties, like, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, that $500 at $250 is great. We don't got nothing going on, but it's like when the record's, placed and it's, making a whole bunch of other people a lot of money, you're not getting money. I think that shit sucks. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think that everybody wants to have a hard and fast rule. And I don't think it's going to work like that. I think you have to measure the situation. Are you a guy that's getting, the local rapper all the time? Are you a guy that's getting bigger people all the time? Are you a guy that's getting major placements? And you have to be like honest about not only your situation, but like be honest about your skill level too. Like, yeah. You can't be running around like, I need $1,000 a track if your joints ain't worth $1,000 a track.
That's a fact. Yeah.
Now, when you talking about when it comes to the leasing, again, that's when you measure your situation. It makes sense for some people. It doesn't make sense for other people.
Yeah. No, I agree. I agree with what both of y'all said. I think when it comes to the leasing thing, you kind of have to at least get a picture of who you are. Who do you want, or who do you want to be?
Yeah.
Do you want to be Timbaland, or do you want to be a Walmart? Yeah. You can sell one thing for $1,000. You can sell 1,000 things for $1. It's still the same amount of money. It's just two different ways to get it.
Right.
But once you start picking a direction, you kind of stuck there for a minute. Like, for instance, you can't lease mad beats. And then when something else comes along, you're like, I want 10 grand for that. Like, I didn't hit your site and get a beat for $20. How am I gonna give you some stacks? So you just gotta watch out and don't paint yourself into a corner. But to your point, not everybody's built for it.
Right.
Either you're not grounded in reality, like you you might be out here screaming no free beats, but you got free beats.
Right.
Like your beats should be free. But you know what I'm saying? You got to keep it real with yourself. Like it's a slogan, bro, but it got to apply to you.
Yeah.
Like don't just jump on the bandwagon.
Yeah.
Once again, you got to know who you are. And the industry is real. Not everybody's built for that shit.
Right.
Even if you nice, you might need to, or you might want to consider leasing beats because it ain't pretty.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm no major star or anything, but I've been around and I've seen it's not for everybody.
We talk to a lot of producers. We have two conversations. We have the conversation we have on the camera. We have the conversation we have off the camera. I've heard some horror stories.
Yeah, it's real. It's real. I got some since 17. So, but I feel like I was a different type of person. I could stick it out. And my life was just set up a little bit different than other people, so I just stuck it out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Now you mentioned technology. You're investing in some technology?
Yeah. I in my mind, I'm Bill Gates.
You got to be.
I'm a young Steve Jobs in my mind. So about not even 2 years ago, maybe 3 years ago at this point, I got into this thing where I will always do like a monthly challenge for myself. Like I try to learn a new skill or something like that. Yeah. So I remember the first one was Rubik's Cube. I was like, I want to figure out how to solve Rubik's Cube. So I did that.
Say word?
Yeah. So then it became, I want to get it down.
Hold on, you see how he did that? He's like, yeah, I solved the Rubik's Cube.
Not fucking with you. But so then I got it down to like, I want to get it down to 2 minutes, do the Rubik's Cube in 2 minutes or whatever. So I never really got there. I got to like maybe 3 minutes and 50 seconds. So, but I moved on.
He said maybe 3 minutes, 50 seconds.
And I used to do that joint on the plane, and then that was my thing on the plane. I used to meet people like that on the plane. But anyway, my next thing though was coding. I wanted to get into coding because I got to the end of my 30 days. I'm like, damn, what's my next joint going to be? And I was watching Iron Man.
Okay.
And I'm like, yo, Tony Stark is cold. It's cold. It's one of my idols. So I'm looking at Jarvis and I'm like, damn, that's dope. Somebody should make something like that for music. And then I got into coding just off of that idea. And I built an AI for music. And that just set me off. I'm like, yo, I want to like really get into this technology thing. It feels like when I first got into music, like, or the first time I knew I wanted to produce when I was a kid. I'm like, oh my God, like it was the same feeling. So now, like that's my thing. It'll always be connected to music, but hey man, I'm moving with the times, and sometimes the music industry don't move as fast as I want it to move. And I look at the technology industry, I'm like, yo, it's just amazing.
What about VSTs? You code VSTs?
No.
Nah.
No, but I'm getting into it.
Yeah, we got to talk about that.
Facts. Okay. Yeah, let's chop it. Let's chop it up. Yeah.
Talk more about the AI. Like, just what happened. What is? I don't. Because when you say that, I'm like, okay. So what does that look like? What is that?
It's basically think of like Alexa or Siri. Pardon to anybody who's watching this in their home and their stuff is going crazy now. It's like an assistant, but it can help you do anything you want to do.
In a DAW, within your DAW type thing?
Yeah.
Oh, that's dope.
Yeah. Yeah, within your DAW. I don't want to go too deep into it. Off camera, I'll show you the video, but I got the video and all that stuff. I show you how it's rocking, man. But saying all that to say, like, that's a passion of mine. Like, this whole artificial intelligence thing and robots in the future and all that, I'm all about. You seen some of my videos, I got the thing on the wrist.
Yeah.
It's just tech, man. I've always been, ever since a kid, I used to just take stuff apart and see how it works and all that stuff. Like NPCs, I would have multiple NPCs because 2 of them was always in pieces at some point. I just wanted to see what the converters look like that everybody talking about. I want to see,
crazy.
I just want to see what's popping on the inside. Yeah. So, yeah.
For you kids out there, before they had these fancy screens, they had the NPCs with the pads and the little green screen.
Man, come on, they know, man.
I was just messing with you.
Real producers, man.
The AI, I guess, it was tripped out that you just said that. So one of the things that I do is I work up at the University of Illinois with a professor there. And we established during their band camp in the summers the first school of hip hop. And so he and I are always having conversations about where technology and the DAWs interact. This dude trips me out because he's like one of those people, he could play literally every instrument, but he's also somebody that I've seen him make 10, 12 beats in every DAW, right? And I asked him a question one day. I said, you should do this with your students. I would love to see somebody, one person is on the computer, the other person sitting the other side. One person knows how to work the DAW, the other person doesn't. Can you talk them through making a beat?
That's dope. That's how I like to teach.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so talk about that. I mean, you teach people how to make beats?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah. I was teaching people how to make beats before I knew I was teaching people how to make beats. Like, it's people that would see me, like, back in the day, and they're like, yo, man, you don't know, but I used to, when I was in the studio all them days, I was just learning now. And I see them now, and they making beats and all that. But that's the way I like to teach people. Like, I'm gonna teach through you. Mm-hmm. I'm not touching nothing. Mm-hmm. Because the best way to learn something is through experience. Everybody knows that. Mm-hmm. So you sharpening your skills because not only are you getting this knowledge of how to make a beat, you're developing something that's so overlooked, and producers overlook muscle memory.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Think about it. When you sit down in your equipment, once you had just set up, it don't even take long. If you had just stuff set up for a couple days in a certain way and nothing moves, you're gonna sit down, you're gonna start reaching for stuff. You're not even gonna start thinking about it. So that's another part of the learning process that kind of gets lost if I'm doing this and I'm just showing you, you're not physically doing it. And I'm sharpening my skills because the way to become a master at something, you can be as good as you want, but until you can teach somebody, you ain't worth nothing. So I'm sharpening my skills by teaching you, and you sharpening your skills doublefold because you're actually doing it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's just a win-win for me.
Facts, that metacognition, that muscle memory, yeah.
That's probably why I hate FL Studio 12. I'm so used to 11. It's like any change, it's like, hell no.
Don't that blow you though? It's something that you've been using and then they like change something to another side or just change it all around. You're like, ooh. The new machine, I like to use the studio, and the erase button is moved up and over one button. It like ruined my year.
Messed you all up.
Straight up. I made bad mistakes like, oh man, I'm not touching nothing.
Yeah. Shoot, man.
The last thing I wanted to probably get you out on is just want to make sure, one, you shout out everything. I think you shouted out the SoundKit page. What's your 2018 looking like? What you got coming up that you can talk about?
Right.
I could talk about the more. There's definitely going to be more sounds.
Okay.
More content where we're teaching people. You know, it's not so much about products as it is about, the tutorials, the blogs. We just did a seminar with BusyWorks Beats for 4 days out in Anaheim. That was amazing. We want to do more of that. You know, like these pop-up things. We trying to take it to other countries.
Yeah.
You know, I'm trying to get out here. I'm trying to become an extrovert before this is all over with. You feel me? Yeah, we want to get out here, man. We really want to touch these people, and I like to do more work and more partnerships with these companies because I partner with a lot of companies, software companies and music companies, and I get a lot out of that. Yeah. Because a lot of these companies, technically they know what's happening, but they don't have people that know both sides of it. You know what I mean? Somebody on the culture side and somebody on the technical side. Yeah. And I kind of feel like I was born for that type of liaison type of position. So I'd like to do more of that, more public speaking, and more placements are sure to come just as a byproduct of doing that stuff.
Yeah, most definitely.
Shoot, man, shout out to Sound Oracle, man. We definitely appreciate you pulling up, man.
Man, I appreciate it too, bro. Like I said, I've been checking you out for a minute. Just love everything that y'all got going on. I'm happy to be here, bro.
Definitely. We'll definitely work on some more content in the future, man, for sure.
Yes, indeed.
Appreciate you rocking with us, fam.
Yes, sir.
Definitely, man. All right, signing out, man. Appreciate everybody tuning in to Producergrind Podcast. We got more on the way. Peace.